Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I am in Comic Frontline, and today I'm doing Comic Uno episode 152. Disclaimer, I have laryngitis, so enjoy my voice going in and out throughout this whole episode. But the reviews are happening. Let's get started. It's actually a short week for me, 15 comics. Another disclaimer, I'm sorry, I have a lot of digital comics this week. I forgot... I didn't forget, but something happened with my Comixology pull list, and it just didn't go through, and so I wasn't able to get as many printed comics as I usually do. I will be getting those next week. So let's get started. Let's start with Worst Pick of the Week, because we go Worst Pick of the Week to Best Pick of the Week. Number 15 is... I'm disappointed this is low. Jade Street Protection Service issue 1. I was actually really looking forward to this book because I like the concept. It is Sailor Moon meets Breakfast Club. Two of my favorite things. I love Breakfast Club. Also really enjoy the, anime style of Sailor Moon. And you definitely feel that. They go to detention. They're different types of people from different walks of life. And they go to a magical school. But I feel like even though there was a lot of information thrown at us about these characters, I never felt for any of them. And I never connected to any of them throughout the issue. So all the events that are happening to them, I didn't care as much. And we have a cliffhanger where you're like, oh my god, I should care about this character. But I like the artwork. It's definitely thin-lined, and I wouldn't say simple. I like the facial expressions. It's kind of different from something you would see from a Sailor Moon type comic, so that was enjoyable. It wasn't as cartoony or anime style, but I gave it 2.5 stars. I was disappointed. I probably won't get issue 2. That's number 15. Moving on to number 14, which is one of my comics fell, and I'm going to bring this closer, so you're going to hear that noise. Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, issue 5. And it wasn't a bad book, it just wasn't for me. I'm still seeing it through, but there wasn't a lot of, I would say, plot progression. There's a lot of character stuff happening, but I wasn't as interested in these characters, so it wasn't any progression between the bad guy and the good guy fight. So I gave Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, 2.5 stars, and that's number 14. Number 13, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Spider-Fly Effect, issue 4. So this issue is the last of this whole time travel miniseries, which has been, like I expected a lot more. The artwork is, I wish I could make that noise a little bit more, but I can't. And then the story, I expected more character stuff going on. I get a little bit of that in this issue of them seeing their family. Cindy sees her family. Peter does so with his family. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't a lot of character stuff, and the actual plot wasn't very interesting. So I gave it 2.5 stars, and that's number 13. Moving on to number... Great. Told you it's going to be happening the whole time. Alright, number 12 is All New, All Different Avengers, issue 11. Honestly, I read this issue. It was okay. It was an interesting character interaction between Sam, Miss Marvel, and Nova, and then the other characters. You see Vision wear Nova's helmet. That was cool, but I'm not interested in this arc at all. I mean, I know it's about Nova saving his father, but that's not even mentioned that much in the issue. It's just them fighting these aliens, and when in the end where I'm like, oh, it looks like it's over, okay, we're going to move on to the next arc. Nope, not over, because Spider-Man's trapped. So now it's like, oh, that's how you know you're not like an arc where I'm like, oh really, another one, another part of this. So I gave All New, All Different Avengers issue 11 2.5 stars. Pretty sure that was number 12, I think. Let me check. I love this laryngitis. Okay, yeah, that was number 12. Moving on to number 11, which is Captain Marvel, issue 6. So I am on the verge of dropping this series, but I wanted to see it through Civil War II, because it was kind of before Civil War II, but timelines were a little confusing because we have more machines still alive, so I'm like, is it before, is it after? And then they showed like the battle they were going to with the Ultimates. Did he die in between? I don't know. But I liked the narration. But again, I think the biggest thing is I don't really like the cast that much of this series. That's pretty big. But like I said, it was okay. I give it 3 stars. That's number 11. Moving on to number 10, All these fell. This is not my day. Why do these all have to fell? Because there's only papers. Hold on. Alright, I have to see they're all in order, but they're not. Great. So, they should be in order after this. Hold on. It's in order now. Alright. Moving on to the next one, which is Captain America issue 2. So that's number 10. The issue was okay. Very exposition heavy of why Captain America said Hail Hydra. Goes into this assault on Pleasant Hill story, which was okay for me because I'm not a huge Cap fan. Definitely like last issue more with the flashbacks with his mother. You don't really get to see that much here, but I like the art. I'm giving this arc a try. I really don't know how long this will be on my pull list because again, not a big Steve Rogers fan, but I gave this 3 stars. Still, I'm glad they explained everything, but very exposition heavy. That's number 10. Moving on to number 9. Which is Spider-Man issue 5. So this book, I also had some problems with. There was a lot of books I had problems with this week. This was with Spider-Man was kidnapped by Black Cat. And I'm not a big fan of where Black Cat's going as a character. But there's only one other series where I do like where she's going. Sorry, just got a message. So I didn't really like that interaction with that. I don't really like her as a character, and she's a big part. Also, I don't really like how Miles's mother is out of character. She was very supportive of Miles in the last series, and now that she's revived, she's not. And I don't really like that direction for her character. I would say the best part of this issue was Gonke and Gold Balls, but they weren't a huge part of it. And I will say the artwork did improve a lot, which is why it's a bit higher than those other books. So I gave it 3 stars. That's number 9. Moving on to number 8, which is May, right? Number 8. Pretty sure up to number 8. Yeah. Alright, number 8 is May, issue 2. And this is a book I was debating, do I want to get another issue of? I liked issue 1, but it didn't blow my mind. But yeah, I liked this issue. I thought it was pretty well done. And also I think I gave Spider-Man 3.5 stars? I might have. I think I gave it 3 stars. No, I gave it 3. Sorry. Yeah, so May, I like the storybook type storyline for it. I do really like the character interaction between our main characters and our main character's best friend. And now they're going into the world that her sister May has been in. And I'm very interested to see what this world is. Now, I will say again, I don't know if this whole series has attached me so much that I'm like, I need to put this on my pull list, but issues will tell us, or will tell me if I want to pick it up more. But I will get into issue 3, and the reason I got issue 2, because it was a lighter week. We'll see if issue 3 is a lighter week also. So I gave this 3 stars. And that's number 8. Moving on to number 7, which is Hyperion issue 4. Love Hyperion. I think it's a great series, and I'm just enjoying the hell out of it. In this issue, it ends our arc with Doll. You know, she was very fearful going into this like haunted mansion because she would be changed, and she was able to fight with her will not to be changed by this plant. And now Hyperion and Doll have learned a lot from each other. And Hyperion's like, you know what? I've always been a savior. I want to save everyone at the same time, but maybe I have to do it one at a time. It seems like his love interest, in a weird way, is the cliffhanger and comes back, which I guess if you're reading Squadron Supreme, that would mean more to me, but it didn't really mean much here. But I gave it 3.5 stars. I really love the art, and I thought it was a pretty good issue. I'm looking forward to seeing where the series goes. I think it's definitely one of Marvel's most one of Marvel's most underrated series. That's number 7. Number 6 is X-Men, Worst X-Men Ever, issue 5, which is definitely a mini-series I recommend overall. This issue is the last part. We see Bailey Boulder and his friend, who could control Gold, is this leader, this dictator in the world. But he goes to his X-Men party, sees how people have changed. And he's tired of the world he lives in. He doesn't know how to change it. He believes this is apocalypse. He says every X-Men story ends in apocalypse. This is ours. And in the end, he's the only one who's able to change the timeline. He uses his power, and he does die. What I like about this is I think it very much pokes fun at the X-Men by telling a really interesting X-Men story. Goes back to basics, but in an original way. So I give it 3.5 stars. There were issues I liked more than this one, but I still thought it was a pretty good ending. So I gave that 3.5, and that was number 6. Moving on to number 5, which is Spider-Gwen Annual, issue 1. This was a good book. You know, I still don't love annuals, which tell only short stories. It's not my favorite thing. But I thought they did a good job with this. I thought, even though it wasn't one continuous, oh my god, big moment that actually connects to the other story arc, we do get to see the Spider-Gwen universe expand, learning more about Captain America, learning more about She-Hulk, and also seeing how Spider-Gwen actually almost went into wrestling like Spider-Man. But the situation changed where Uncle Ben saved the day, and it showed Gwen, oh, I shouldn't be selfish. I should use this, responsibly. And obviously that was the guy who ran, and the guy who Gwen was going to let go was that same person who would have killed Uncle Ben in the 616 universe. So I really liked that play. And, it's just a fun issue with mini stories. I like the last story where we got to see every day of Spider-Gwen, and how Sunday she slept all day, and then Monday we gotta, be Spider-Gwen again. The run or the pun of Gwen eating tuna sandwiches all the time, I thought was cool. So I gave that 3.5 stars. That was number 5. Now we're moving on to number 4, which is Mockingbird issue 4. I like this series overall. I think it's really good. And what I liked about this issue is that it focused a lot on Bobby's love for biology, which a lot of other series hasn't done besides this one, where we see her talk about evolution and how that's connected to whatever's in her body. She saves her ex-husband, Hawkeye, and you see that, they still like each other, and I like that. I thought they played on that relationship very well, and she's like, don't judge me. But yeah, it's figuring out this plot of what the hell's in her body. But also, it was a fun story digging into Bobby's character, and very good narration in this issue, and gorgeous artwork too. Love it. So I really enjoyed it. Really great art. One of my favorite panels of this issue, and just line-wise too, was her saying, fear is vestigial, but the truth is we're predators. If you ever need a reminder of that, just go for a swim. And I was like, oh my god, that's such a good panel. So I love that. That was definitely one of my favorite panels of the issue. So I gave this 4 stars. I thought it was a very solid issue. And that is number 4. Moving on to number 3, which is Jupiter's Legacy, issue 2. And this is our first issue of Jupiter's Legacy, or setup issue. And I missed this. I didn't love Jupiter's Circle, or Volume 2 I really didn't like, but it was more filler to me. But I love Jupiter's Legacy, and this issue continues to tell me why I liked it. It's superhero. The people who are superheroes are actually the supervillains, and the people who are supervillains are actually superheroes. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's mostly a setup issue. It's a very quick read, but still a very fun read. Artwork I've gotten used to. It's very, it has a lot of line work. I feel like it's a little crumbly in ways, but it works. It works with like this grittiness because of also the bright coloring. So Jupiter's Legacy, Volume 2, Issue 1 gets 4 stars. And that's number 3. Moving on to number 2, which is Silk, Issue 9. I was pleasantly surprised by this issue. It 100% goes into Cindy's psychology, which I love about this series. It's not all about psychology, but it's a big theme, and I think it's very important for everything that Cindy has gone through. I love that how Cindy questions herself all the time, and even though it's like played as a joke here, it's very much, I think, in line of who her character is. So I enjoyed that, and I love digging into character psychology or psyche. So I thought it's an interesting aspect of the series. So with this issue, there's a lot going on. You have Cindy wanting to get help from Hector, of all people, not being able to find him. Silk in the crossover thinking that she should be a villain, but learns a little bit more about Black Cat, and she's like, maybe she's not a bad person. And that goes back to what I was saying about Spider-Man. There's not a lot of series where I like where the Black Cat story is, or how it's told. But here, I really like it. I like the way they're portraying Black Cat, and actually makes sense of why she's doing the things she's doing. But it's also about people overhearing Cindy, finding the truth. Her friends at work overhear that Cindy's Silk. And Black Cat overhears that she's an agent. So where's this gonna go? There's a lot that happens in this issue, and I really enjoyed it. So I gave it 4 stars. And that was number 2. So we're moving on to number 1. Which is Star-Lord issue 8. This was a no-brainer for me. I gave it 4.5 stars. I'm sad this is the last issue. I didn't know it was, and I was like, no, it's ending? Sam Humphries knows these characters so well. Not just their romance, which he knows really well too. It's these characters, and it's showcased here. I love that it really digs deep of why they broke up, why they work, why they didn't. What are their character flaws? And it digs deep into that, and they admit it. They literally have a real conversation post-breakup. I thought the communication of this issue was so well done. And realistic, I thought. It was a very realistic issue. So I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars. Some of the art stuff, I'm still not in love with the art, but I do like the facial expressions, because that was a very important aspect of the issue. So Star-Lord is my pick of the week. Let me know in the comments below, what was your pick of the week? Your your worst pick of the week. Oh, maybe my laryngitis. Nope, it's not. Or your worst pick of the week. And yeah, so hopefully my voice will be better by the next video. That would be really bad if it's not by a week. But sorry, hopefully you stay through the video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. So this is Comic You Know. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.